Alright you guys, so I'm back in Ho Chi Minh City, the city I moved to 6 months ago. And in today's video, I want to show you guys how to move to Vietnam if that's something you're interested in doing. I must say I'm very grateful that 4 years ago that I was open-minded enough to leave the US and move abroad. And obviously I've spent most of my time in Southeast Asia, in Thailand. I've spent a little bit of time in Bali. And like I said, for the past 6 months, I have a home here in Vietnam as well. And guys, I truly have zero regrets. One of the best decisions I've ever made in my life was moving abroad. I mean, there's so many benefits to living out here that I can't stress enough. And if you guys who watch the channel a lot, you guys know like I truly do love living out here. I've directly inspired a lot of other people to also make that same move. So I don't know, it's truly dope. I'm very grateful to be able to have this lifestyle, do what I do. But yeah, without further ado guys, let's start off with why. Why should you consider moving to Vietnam? Okay, so you might ask, why Vietnam? Well, first of all guys, if you would have asked me a little bit over 4 years ago about even living abroad to begin with, I would have been like, what are you talking about? It wasn't even something on my mind, you know? After moving out to Southeast Asia, I fell in love and it took me less than a month. And I had never visited, just bought my one-way ticket and said, hey, I'm gonna give this a go. Never would imagine that years later, you know, I would love my life out here and have inspired a lot of people to move out here. But even once I getting to Southeast Asia and staying in Thailand, I love Thailand, still love Thailand, right? I would have never thought that I would end up also living in Vietnam, have a home in Thailand and Vietnam. But after being here, I must say Vietnam is slept on. Don't sleep on Vietnam, guys. Obviously, so some of the reasons for Vietnam, many Americans, obviously one of the things we think about is things from a cost of living perspective. And you guys know that Vietnam is even cheaper than Thailand. So lower prices than Thailand for housing, food, and many other categories. So, you know, housing, haircuts, food, healthcare, things that really matter when it comes to your overall cost of living. But it doesn't stop there. You know, from my experience so far, the people here have been pretty friendly. I haven't had like any negative experiences worth noting. I will say one thing you gotta be okay with is that out here, I will say Vietnamese people, they do stare, but not like in a malicious way, but they will look with no shame, whether you're, you know, if you're not Asian, if you're like black, white, whatever, they gonna stare at you, but not like in a mean way, but just like out of curiosity. That's the most, you know, worst thing I can say so far. But other than that, like no really big issues. Life is calm out here. Life is super, super convenient. I mean, I truly love it. It's peaceful. And I feel like it's like Southeast Asia is really hard to compete with when you consider overall quality of life. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, so what's step one? How do I move abroad? What do I need to do? Well, the number one thing, and I want to be very transparent through this video, number one thing for you is going to be your money. So you have to have money handled before you move out here, because most of these countries, you can't move out here and just land a job, right? So even if you can get a job, the opportunities are limited to certain industries, right? So one of the big industries people move out here who get jobs is in language. So it's teaching like English. There are other industries open outside of that, but that's one of the most popular, industries I've seen. But outside of that, if you want to live out here, this is best opportunity for those who are either making money online, has a remote job, or retired. So if you have one of those three things, then I would say Southeast Asia is definitely a good opportunity for you. So I will say, make sure you have an income in place and don't just move out here on savings, because even though life is more affordable out here, life can catch you fast. So you want to be prepared for that and still have income coming in. So if that's out the way, then your next step is going to be your visa. Now, another moment of transparency. In Vietnam and many of these countries in Southeast Asia, working around visas can be a little bit complex. So I will say, moving out here requires strategy. It does require strategy. It's not like it's just get up and go. There are some things you must take into consideration. So with Vietnam, they don't really issue long-term visas. If you move to Vietnam, you're gonna have to do pretty much like a border run every 90 days. So Vietnam will issue you a 90-day multiple entry visa. So that requires you to leave the country every 90 days. But it's not expensive to leave. You can fly over to Malaysia or Thailand, which is like an hour flight. It's gonna cost you like less than $100. Reapply for your visa, come back over here. Now, each country has its own rules. So in Thailand, visa runs no longer work. But in Vietnam, they're cool with it so far. I've met people who lived out here for years simply doing visa runs every 90 days and reapplying. So that's cool. So don't take one country and think that the same rules apply to the other. Vietnam is more chill as of right now. But as I mentioned, it is about strategy. So that could possibly change in the future. So just So do keep that in mind. So this is not a good place to be if you're someone who has a lot of like maybe medical issues and you're not too mobile, because you will have to travel. But if you're open-minded and you're an adventurer, just think of every 90 days you take a quick trip, quick vacation to a different country. And I think that's amazing. That gives you, it's a great way to see other countries and experience new cultures and experiences while living abroad. So yeah, that's number one. And your visa, make sure you get it from the official Vietnam website, the Vietnam .gov, not any other site websites that are gonna charge you more. And that visa is only gonna cost you $50 for that 3 months. So literally less than, to like $15 a month for your visa stay here in Vietnam. Once you have knocked that down, guys, it's pretty much super easy from there. Like as long as money's in place, you've got your visa. I mean, once you land here, the next thing you have to deal with is getting your like phone service, banking, and housing. So we're gonna talk about that next. Let's go. So once you arrive in Vietnam, one of the first things you want to do is to get yourself a SIM card. I would skip the airport and just literally go to a Viettel store. So that's what I'm about to do right now. And you can get your plan for as long as you're staying, whether it's 1 month or 6 months or a whole year, you can pay in advance. And guys, it is super affordable, way cheaper than phone service in America. And the coverage is good. You get fast Wi-Fi, fast signal. Here we go at Viettel. Let's get this phone service. Hello. Yes, I want to get phone service.
Phone number.
I already have phone number. I need to extend it. All right, you guys, so I just renewed my phone service. This literally took like 2 minutes. And so for 3 months of phone service, you guys can see that right there, 540,000 dong, which converts to $20 for 3 months of fast 5G unlimited internet. Guys, you can't beat it. You literally cannot beat it. All right, you guys, so next up for your banking, Vietnam makes it super easy to bank as a foreigner. So what you wanna do is when you guys move here, to be able to QR pay, which is the #1 way to pay out here in Vietnam to locals or businesses, you wanna come to Timo. So it's out here in Ho Chi Minh City in District 1, and all you're gonna need is a 90-day visa and your passport, and boom, you're good to go. You can transfer money to that account using Wise. Now, I will say I do not advise putting a super large amount of money in there. Pretty much put enough to navigate your expenses here in Vietnam, like paying your rent or paying for goods amongst locals, or like I said, at grocery stores or wherever else. But super easy, only takes a few minutes to set up. If there's no wait time, you'll be in and out of here. So that's how you bank out here, guys. Super easy, super smooth. Come to Timo. Hello, can I have a coconut latte?
Latte?
Yeah, this one.
Coconut.
Yes, please.
No sugar.
A little bit. As you guys know, Vietnam is known for coffee. So if you're a coffee lover, Vietnam is where you want to be. And to get like a latte is 38K. That way outbeat Starbucks. I'm gonna do the currency exchange for you guys right now. So 38,000 Vietnamese dong is literally $1.45. Last time I checked, Starbucks is not. There's nothing you can get at Starbucks for $1.45. Maybe not even a cup of ice. Thank you. And I'm gonna scan. All right, so super easy. Got my bank account. We're gonna pay. Boom, just like that, y'all. Easy peasy. Got it. Thank you. You guys, this is the best $1.45 coffee I've ever had in my life. But it's not just good for $1.45, guys. I would pay a lot more for this. This definitely whoops Starbucks ass. Cheers to Vietnam. All right, you guys, so far, between renewing my banking and renewing my phone service, it literally took, between both activities, less than like literally 5 minutes a piece. Obviously longer for me walking and getting to places, but as far as getting it done, 5 minutes total. So convenient, so fast here. All right, you guys, now we're about to get a haircut, but I get a fresh fade for literally $5. You didn't hear me wrong, guys. That's right, $5. I know right now, y'all in the States, y'all paying 30, 40, 50, 60 to $100 a cut. Not here in Vietnam, y'all. You can get a fresh cut, $5, and you can do a walk-in. So I'm here at Tony Barber House in Quan 1, which means like District 1 in Ho Chi Minh City. And so yeah, guys, this is where they can get you right for a fresh cut. So I'm gonna get one right now because your boy is in desperate need. Let's go. All right, you guys, so I just got my fade. I did a pretty good job. So that cost me in USD $6.88, which, I mean, guys, that's literally under $10 for a fade. Man, you cannot find those prices in America anywhere. I don't care where you go. Even if your uncle was cutting your hair, you're not getting it for less than $10. So literally, you know, living out here, like as an American, you know, it feels like being able to go back in a time machine, you know, like 10, I don't even know if I got haircuts for under $10 when I was a kid. And we're talking about, you know, 20 years ago. So like, man, like it's really, so yeah, it really is a privilege to be able to like live out here and experience this and still get quality too. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't be mad at that. So just to show you guys, so I'm going to take about a 20-minute motorbike ride from downtown to my home. And that's going to cost me about $1.43. So just to give you an idea how much rides cost here. If you're not comfortable on a motorbike, obviously you can take a car, but there is a lot more traffic to deal with when riding in a car. Now, since I mentioned money, a lot of you guys are gonna say, okay, hey, yeah, I'm making some money already, whether it's retirement or making money online, how much do I need to make? And guys, I cannot answer that question for you. We each have different lifestyles, so it's completely up to what your needs and wants are. So, you know what I'm saying? Like overall, what is the minimum I would say you need? I would say for Vietnam, probably $1,000, depending on, well, number one is gonna be your housing cost. So if you find yourself an apartment for like $300 to $400, at least with $600 left to spend throughout the month. And that also is gonna come into place, okay, what do you eat? Are you willing to eat, you know, the local food? 'Cause that's gonna be cheaper than eating Western food. So if you eat like a local, you get your average meals for $1 to $2. Let's say per month you spend, say, $100 to $150 on food. Okay, what's next? Your transportation. Well, rides don't cost too much out here. Getting around and grab, you know, for your average ride is gonna cost you about $1 to $2 for rides. You do wanna make sure that you have some type of travel or health insurance. So for me at my age, that costs me $56 a month, and do make sure you have that. Real quick, you're traveling or living abroad, one thing that's super important to have is travel insurance. I personally use Safety Wing. They have two plans. One is the Essential, which is great for shorter trips. It covers the basics, like getting sick, unexpected injuries, hospital visits, and travel emergencies. But if you're out here long term, as I know a lot of you plan to be, you're gonna wanna have their Complete plan. With the Complete plan, you can choose any doctor you want, public or private. You can get checkups, screenings, mental health support, and even serious stuff like cancer treatment. It covers therapy, vaccines, maternity care, emergency evacuations, all of it. Plus, it's got your back with travel stuff too. Like say your luggage disappears, or your accommodation gets canceled, or even you lose your passport. It works in over 170 countries, so if you're bouncing between places like a few months in Thailand or a few months in Bali, it's got you covered. So yeah, if you're trying to travel smart, then scan the QR code on the screen, or click the link in the description and let them know I sent you. Anyway, back to the video. Outside of that, you know, you're gonna have like your Wi-Fi, your phone costs. Like I said, you guys are gonna see pretty soon. You guys are gonna see up next how much I pay for all that stuff, but it's super affordable. So I would say starting out, if you make at least $1,000, I think you're okay. But obviously the more the better. Like for me, my costs, my expenses are a little bit higher just because I live a little bit higher end of a lifestyle. My condo alone here in Ho Chi Minh cost me $1,200 and close to $1,400 once you add in electricity and the different fees that go into place. So that might be your whole budget for the month, depending on what type of lifestyle you live. But obviously the more money you make, the better, just higher in your lifestyle is. But don't be discouraged if you make less. If you only make $1,400 a month or $1,000, you can still have a decent life here. All right, you guys, so now I'm standing in my beautiful condo here in Ho Chi Minh City. So now let's talk housing. So guys, when I first moved to Vietnam from Thailand, which is kind of like not like a real move because I still, like I said, I still have a place in Thailand. But technically, like when I secured another home over here, making that move was super, super easy. I mean, moving in Southeast Asia is one of the easiest things ever versus America. When I moved from America to Thailand, I had to do a lot of steps, right? So first of all, when you obviously in America, everything in your home you buy, so your furniture, all the belongings, and you don't realize how much stuff you accumulate until it's time to move. So I had to get rid of all of my belongings, sell everything before I moved over here. But from going from Thailand to Vietnam was the easiest thing in the world. When I tell you I was settled in 3 days of moving here, literally within 3 days, I had, you know, my banking, my phone service, a home found, moved in. It was already furnished, clean, perfect, Wi-Fi installed the same day I moved in. And just for a quick one on that, the Wi-Fi cost about $70 for 6 months. And this is high-speed Wi-Fi, so less than $10 a month for literally high-speed internet. I mean, I cannot complain. But so when it comes to housing, how do you find housing here? Super easy, super easy, guys. So I would recommend Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, you can browse the housing options, contact the listing, and then literally go meet them. You go check it out. If you like it, boom, sign a contract. You need, usually it's 1 month advance and 2 months deposit. So whatever your rent cost is, you're gonna pay 3x that to move in. And once at the end of your lease, everything goes well, you will get your deposit money obviously returned to you. But I mean, and guess what, guys? Unlike America, ain't no credit check. They don't even do a background check. Pretty much all you need is your visa. So they're gonna take a picture of your passport and the deposit. All they care about really is the money. You got the money, hey, you good to go. So yeah, I mean, moving in and finding housing out here is super easy. If you guys are moving to Ho Chi Minh City, I can recommend you guys my specific realtor. Super helpful. He's the one who actually helped me get everything set up from, like I said, from my banking and phone service. He gave me all that additional information that I needed as far as for moving here. But yeah, guys, and that's another thing about out here, moving is super easy. So if you guys want to leave, if you're leaving in America, I would highly suggest get rid of the majority of your things. Move over here with like 2 suitcases and you will feel so much more free. This lifestyle is about freedom and strategy. We live now, guys, in a new economy, a new world. And so you have to be more creative and open-minded with how you live life. I can tell you, as an American, living abroad has opened up my mind a lot. And I actually appreciate moving into a fully furnished apartment. I love that none of the furniture here is mine because guess what? It makes it so easy to just get up and leave and go to the next place. And I don't have to spend money accumulating a bunch of stuff because you got to think about it. Another reason why there's so many reasons why I love living abroad, but you don't realize how much you are taxed in America and how much you are brainwashed into consumerism in America. Because every time you move, you got to buy, you got to buy new furniture, buy the new this, buy the new that. None of the apartments you move into or hardly any come furnished already. So this is like a little luxury I love having, and this is pretty much the standard for most apartments you move into. Now, depending on where you move, everything, it won't be like, sometimes the furniture will be a little iffy, but you find the right places, you'll get high end. Like I said, I absolutely love my condo. If you guys haven't seen that tour, I will link the video for that if you guys want to see like the full tour of the whole place. But yeah, so moving is super easy. But yeah, guys, back on in America, you are taxed on everything, right? So you get paid, you're taxed. You own a home, taxes rest of your life. So you guys who think you're real homeowners, you're not. Stop paying taxes and see how long you own that home. Everything you buy, tax. You invest, tax. Tax, 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 tax. So another little convenient thing, another great thing about living out here is that you can reduce your taxes in many ways. So one, obviously just leaving America, depending on how you earn your income, you can qualify for FEIE. So that is like FEIE, which is Federal Earned Income Exclusion. So look it up, do some research on that. But like you can, if you live outside of America, you possibly can qualify for that and reduce a lot of your taxes. But then just on the end of the additional taxes you pay, when you're out here, you go buy food or all your purchases, you're not paying taxes every time you buy something. So that alone saves you a lot of money, something that many people don't think about. And another thing I just want to point out too is a lot of times when it comes to like pricing and lifestyle out here, a lot of you guys will see creators make these videos and go like, oh, y'all raising the prices and da da da. Guys, first of all, this is not new and it's not like an American thing. Like guys, there are people around the world. Americans aren't the only people in the world. Like there's a lot of people with money, big money in China, even locals here, Vietnam, Thailand, Russians, Indians. Americans aren't the only people with money. Actually, to be quite honest, Americans, now that I've seen it, Americans are some of the brokest people. If I'm really being honest, Americans don't have money like it seems because America is a credit nation, right? So if we even take home ownership, if we took away the ability for a mortgage, 90+% of people who are homeowners would not own a home, right? It's all like, mind you, but out here, people who got money out here got money. Cars purchased cash, home purchased cash. Americans aren't doing that. They don't have the money for that. So a lot of times Americans have this false sense of how wealthy they are or how good they're doing in life because of the access to lines of credit. So to be honest, guys, I know you guys see the stats and like, oh, say for example, I'm paying whatever I'm paying here for my apartment. You guys go, oh, that's expensive for Vietnam. No. A lot of y'all are just hearing stuff on the internet. You haven't lived out here, so you don't really understand that there's levels to this. Everybody in Thailand is not broke. Everybody in Vietnam is not broke. Just like any other country in the world, there's lower class, middle class, and upper class. And the people who got money, they got money for real. They got money. So even in my building, like this building is filled with, locals. It's not like this building is a bunch of just foreigners living here. Walk around my building, you'll see locals. So obviously it shows you that everyone is not struggling. People are, there's people with good jobs and businesses and doing very well for themselves. So I just want to throw that in there, guys. But Yeah, like I said, housing, super easy, guys. You guys move out here and be set up so quickly. So I think that one of the last things you guys should know about moving to Vietnam is what apps do you need to navigate life out here? So starting with like the top most important ones, like I'm gonna say Google Translate, Google Maps, because there will be some communication barriers. English is not widely spoken here. If it is, it's gonna be, you know, a small percentage of people who speak fluently. And then for those who can speak a little bit, it's gonna be like broken English. So you're definitely gonna need translation apps. So yeah, Google Translate and then Google Maps for like, you know, just navigating places. Outside of that, the next most like top app, premier app is gonna be Grab, which is your pretty much Uber, DoorDash all in one. So it's your food delivery, it's your ordering your rides. If you wanna get groceries delivered to your house, you can also shop grocery stores on there and have it all delivered. So it's an all-in-one app, super affordable, much better than like obviously like Uber and Lyft and DoorDash in America. Cause I already know you use those apps, you're being taxed. Whether it's a 15-minute ride, you ain't paying no less than $15, $20, $30 just to go up the street. DoorDash, you might as well take out a small loan to order on DoorDash, because by the time you order your cheeseburger and fries, it's gonna cost like 3 to 4 times more than what it would be if you buy it in stores. But out here, like Grab, it doesn't cost much more to have your food delivered than it is to go like pick it up yourself. So yeah, you definitely want that for navigating. And then it's better just to have use that app for transportation stuff versus like hailing a taxi. Because if you just deal with people in the street that's like waving you down, typically I want to say in a way you're gonna be like scammed because they're gonna overcharge you than what the going rate is. So if you want a fair price and just overall safety and just convenience, definitely use the Grab app. Next, you're gonna have like communication. So Zalo and WhatsApp are the two most popular communication apps out here, whether it's dealing with like your realtor or just different businesses or friends you make out here. Zalo, Z-A-L-O, and then WhatsApp is popular just in Southeast Asia in general, or just honestly is very popular globally outside of America. Many people communicate through WhatsApp. The other apps you might need is like, obviously I mentioned banking, so Timo. So when you look at your banking, they'll already make you like download the app anyway. And that will allow you to literally not have to carry cash, because pretty much everyone you can scan and transfer to, whether it's a local or a business. So Timo, super convenient, definitely want to get that. And like I said, you can send yourself money to that app through Wise. So download the Wise app, and then you can, from Wise, can send the money directly to your your Timo account. Outside of those are like the main apps you really need to get by out here. But for activities, there's another app I would recommend you, which is RE Club. And this app will, if you guys are into sports like, you know, pickleball, which I have picked up, I've fallen in love with pickleball. So that's like my like weekly routine out here is playing. I could play pickleball for like, you know, a few hours. Like that's like my game now. I'm like a bit of an old man. But no, out here it's not just like an old man sport. Like young people, everyone loves playing pickleball. It almost seems like the official sport of Vietnam now, because even if we walk my block or my neighborhood, probably can find about 5 to 10 pickleball clubs. So if you guys if you move here and don't know anybody, RE Club will allow you to like join just different like communities and sports events that's happening. So like, you know, if there's like, there might be a post that pops up say, hey, looking for 6 to 10 people to play pickleball with today or tomorrow. And you can just literally register and boom, join them and play with strangers. Great way to socialize and make friends. So yeah, if you're into different sports, download that for meeting people. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the apps. But yeah, guys, I mean, I suggest that you highly, highly consider life abroad. I can say the best decision I've ever made in my life, from a peace standpoint, convenience standpoint, and definitely from a financial standpoint. I'm in the best financial position of my life ever since I moved outside of America and living abroad. It's allowed me to save so much money. I've even made more money, which for most people it's not gonna be the case, but I have made more money living outside of America than I have in America. And life is just truly great. Like, I'm super blessed. And I want to say this too. Like, I don't want you guys just to see where my life is now and go, oh, okay, it's easy for you to say, listen, I was enjoying life when I first got to Southeast Asia, even when I was making a lot less money. Life was still good. Life was good when I was living in a $245 a month apartment in Pattaya. You know, like when I'm only making a couple grand a month, life was still lit. Like I still felt great, even in the process. Like I just felt like I had so much more freedom. Even though I didn't have like a whole lot of money, I still felt more free. So yeah, guys, if you're watching this, I suggest if you're in the position and you qualify to do it. I mean, to really consider it. Like, you will save yourself a lot of money, and I think you'll really enjoy your experience of life out here from every aspect. Like I said, even like taking something like healthcare, you guys will save a lot of money even without insurance out here if you need to get stuff done. I do recommend, as I mentioned, have health insurance. Like, I recommend Safety Wing, but there are other companies you can consider. So just do your research. But if you just need one immediately, Safety Wing for your travel insurance. So it's going to cover your emergency health care and stuff like that. But then there are like full care coverage with Safety Wing as well that you can look into. So link will be in the description. But guys, even without insurance, for example, I could walk to dentist right now, no appointment, up the street from me, go get a teeth cleaning, x-ray exam for literally less than 20 bucks. For less than 20 bucks. And the thing too, like healthcare out here, the prices are transparent. You go on a website, it's gonna tell you how much it costs. Go try to find out how much things cost in the American healthcare system. They're gonna first ask you, are you insured or uninsured? And then they're gonna give you a different rate based on that. So there's so many hoops to jump through. And out here, guys, you're not sacrificing on quality. They have amazing healthcare out here in Southeast Asia, whether Thailand or Vietnam. And it's so much more convenient, less waiting time, high quality. So just open your mind, be open-minded. I know a lot of us Americans have been sold this propaganda that America is the end all be all, but I need you guys to wake up and, smell the coffee, especially here in Vietnam, smell the coffee. But life outside of America can truly be lit. We've been sold a capitalistic kind of slavery in America. And a lot of times, they sell you on this idea of just work. Maybe get your little BMW, whatever, and take your one vacation a year and die. Just give to the system. But out here, you're gonna realize that life is different. So the Chinese New Year is very big celebrated out here in Vietnam. And guys, you guys probably won't believe this. With this holiday, this city pretty much shut down for like 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, businesses closed, people out of town for 2 to 3 weeks. America can barely take a day off before they all right, get back to work. All right, have your Thanksgiving, but in a couple hours, go celebrate Black Friday. They don't want you to rest. They want to always keep you anxious and spending money. But out here, you're gonna realize that life slows down and people don't think the same way. So you have to open up your mind and see that, okay, there's more ways to do life than what you've been sold. And so I'm super thankful that my mind has been opened up and that I've got to experience life out here and life outside of America and see that there's many ways to do and experience life. And I don't know about you, but my biggest desire is freedom. And especially for you guys who are watching this and you're young, I want you guys to embrace freedom and know that life is whatever you make of it. You don't have to slave your life away for, a mediocre wage and your mental health going to crap because you slaved to the system. And, you give all your time away, you miss time with friends and family and valuable moments off whatever wage and to retire at 65 years old, live a few more years and die. Life is much more than that. So you have to take control, put yourself in the driver's seat, gain knowledge, and realize that the world is a big place and that you can do whatever you put your mind to. So anyway, guys, that's all I got. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.